Hey folks, welcome back to Law Creations. I know it's been a little bit of time since my last video, but just wanted to do an update video and catch up with you guys and just show you a little bit that I've been up to and just some things I've been working on. So what you're looking at here is a 3D printed piece by Wicked 3D that I printed and painted. And this one was a lot of fun. Punisher is my favorite Marvel character. And I went kind of with his old comic style look as opposed to just the black and white. So I just wanted to give him a little bit of a different look. And I really, really love the blue. I really enjoy the textures on this piece. It came out really great. And it actually was a real pleasure to paint. The only thing I wish is that the gun and the hands weren't blocking the skull, but depending on how you pose him, it'll you'll be able to see everything. And the base is just basically to hold him up. I still have to paint the base, but only really from the side you really get to appreciate the base. But yeah, he was painted, everything was painted with a first layer of acrylic paint. So I used the Pro Acryl acrylic paint. I have pretty much the whole set up there. So all the initial layers went down with that particular style paint. And then I go in for, with oil paints and do the blending and a little bit of light dry brush with oil paint. I love doing work with the oil paints because, especially on his face, I really appreciate how his face came out. I took my time with it. I try to do different thin coats and different layers of highlights. His eyes are done with oil paint. I like to do the eyes with oil paint because it already is a little bit glossy, and not only that, it's forgiving. So if I mess up on the eyes, I can go in with some mineral spirits and just clean it up. And the only thing I wish I would have done is a little spot on the nose right there. I should have sanded that and made it a little smoother, but that's okay. His 5 o'clock shadow style beard is just done with some 50-50 black oil paint and dark blue oil paint. And just went in and did a nice little blend and went in with some stippling on the details. So yeah, I really like how this face came out. And it came with an alternate head, which is here, which I started painting up. And this particular head, I went ahead and did a different resin. I used sunlu ABS-like resin because I hear that it's durable in the research that I've done, and a little bit more flexible. My 3-year journey has always been this elegoo standard, which is a fantastic resin and I really like and continue to use, but like any standard resin, it's brittle and is prone to breakage. But this one is definitely a lot more flexible, a lot more durable. Is it indestructible? Absolutely not. And especially if you cure it too long, I'm going to guess that it makes it more prone to snapping. But yeah, this one here, I wanted to do this one in a more of a rigid type of resin, just because of these. Because I know with my klutzy hands in painting this, I would break it. I mean, I could always glue it back, but that gives you an idea of the flex for that particular resin. And it was on my Saturn 4. I use a 2.5 layer exposure with a 30-second bottom exposure and 5 layers. And lately I've been using a 0.03 layer line. It takes a lot longer to print things, but I print things overnight, so I'm not too concerned about the time. Doesn't make a huge difference in details. Maybe not to the naked eye, but I find it does better with textures. Definitely brings out textures more in clothing and different things like this. This little samurai here was printed. It's a Loot Studios. And just to give you an idea of the flex here of that sunlu. Now, if that was regular resin, that would snap. Not with this one. And this has been cured for maybe 2 minutes. Yeah. But, yeah. Just wanted to share that. I imagine any kind of ABS-like resin would be just as flexible. But this one was pretty forgiving. I just poured it in and left my settings, and everything printed perfect. And I haven't had a failure yet. This is my first 2,000 grams. I got another one coming. So, yeah. I did some metallic markers here on the weapon. On his hands, I did an initial layer of like a gray, like a bluish gray. Then I went in with oil paint, and I did a couple good coats of oil paint. And I do thin so they dry quick. And I did all that shading in there. You would think that would be done with an airbrush, but it wasn't. It's oil paint as well. And the beauty of oil paint is you have so much time to blend, and that's what I love about it. This is all just done with a multiple leathers, and I tried to do some different tones in there between, like a leather with no texture, and then I tried to go with some brown leather for the textured parts, and use some metallic markers for all that. And the shading, you'd think it was done with an airbrush, but it wasn't. It was all done with oil paint. I did a black and blue mixture, pretty much the same one I did on his beard here. And I'll give you a pretty good up close look at this is my best face to date that I've done. His eyes came out really good. I'm happy with. I did a little highlighting on his scarring there. I brought out a little bit of purple for his veins. This side may have gotten a little too much, but I can always go in and with a little bit of flesh color and tone that down a bit. But yeah, really, really happy with this. Came out really good. And you can see the detail in the stubbles. So this was printed at 0.03 layer height on my Saturn 4. And this one was actually printed with the regular elegoo resin. So, and you can see I haven't added any. I'm just giving those eyes a little bit of time to dry so I can go in with some gloss. But that's the oil paint that allows it to have a little bit of a shine there. I added a little pinkish brown to his lips. But yeah, I'm very, very happy with how this came out. And it displays very nice. Did the bullets with a metallic marker of gold. And his back is the same. That's his back there. I did the same thing as the brown. Maybe not as detailed because the back you don't really see. And I did have to go in and do some filling of the gaps, which you can see there. So, I mean, that's on the back. I tried to go in and stipple a little bit of that detail. And on the front, it's not as bad. So I had to connect it here. So definitely blended okay there. Yeah, as long as it looks good, especially from a distance, I think it looks great. And that's him with this particular head, which I'll be doing. So I'll do pretty much the same thing as I did with this head here, but I think I'll do the bandana headband white as well. So I think that will look pretty cool, and I won't glue them together so they can be swapped out. But yeah, Sunlu ABS, beautiful, perfect resin for just pour and play, and 2.5 exposure time on my Saturn 4. I don't have the Ultra, but and that's my usual go-to. So let me give you guys an update. So I started printing this. It was a big old Frankenstein sculpture, and for some reason the top stopped printing. I'm not really sure. I still had a little bit of resin in there, but it kind of looks like I ran out of resin, but I know I didn't. But this was printed 0.03 layer height with the elegoo resin. But you can really see and appreciate the details here for this particular piece. Let me give you a quick turnaround and an update on my diorama. There's my printing workstation there, and I don't know if I told you that I purchased the second Saturn 4. Not an Ultra, but that red one is a Saturn 3. My wash and cure. That's my elegoo Neptune 3 Pro, the filament. I like to use that for dioramas. That is a Boba Fett I'm printing up. And here's an update on my diorama that I've been working on that I was sharing with you guys. And if you follow me enough, you know I go from one project to another. And but I'm looking forward to finishing this one because it's it's kind of a 3 display type of diorama you could. So obviously you have the front here, the door, and the brickwork's done, and you got the wooden door here. I might go in and add some color just to break up all the brown and the monotony. I did base this with just some watered down Mod Podge and some sand, different coats of sand. Got the Punisher's bike out here hanging out. And I also did the side of the building. That's complete. Just with a drain pipe running down. That's just to kind of hide the seal between the two. And did a window here. That's a 3D printed window. But you got a lot of room to display. It's a good size diorama and base. So let's take a look. I also, like I told you, I was going to do the inside. And I was working on the inside as well. So pretty happy with it. Sorry for the noise. So I did a roof. I have to finish painting it. But it's a little higher than waist. That's about waist height for any 6-inch action figure. So you got display options there. You got a whole interior here. And all this type of detail is just, it's actually scrapbook paper that I got from Hobby Lobby, and I just put in and weathered it up. There's the interior window. Yeah, so you can actually display, you know, a whole bunch of figures in this particular diorama. You got the rooftop, you got the interior, and you have the exterior. So I'm pretty happy with it. My first time really doing a multi-display type of diorama like this. But yeah, it's pretty bland in colors, but I'll probably have to go in and add a little bit of color. And I picked up these lights at Hobby Lobby. I think they were only $2.29, and they actually, all they take is a battery. I had to order on Amazon because I don't have any. It has a switch that it just turns on here, and the battery goes in the back there. And I'll probably just go in with some frosting type of paint to give it a frost look, to tone that light down a little bit. And I could put it anywhere. I could put it anywhere here. I could put it outside. I did pick up a couple of them, so I could use a couple of them in this diorama if I wanted to. But yeah, just wanted to share with you guys this particular piece. And I really appreciate your patience and following my videos. And as you can see, I've been busy, master of none, and what's it called? Jack of all trades, master of none. And that's kind of me. I just go with the flow. I go with what my heart wants to create at that time. And yeah, I go from there. And just a little bit of a display shelf. That's my diorama I had created a while ago. And another diorama there. My studio is, I mean, it's cleaner than what it was, but it's still in disarray. I got some 3D models up there. I got this particular Iron Man war tank, whatever his name is, and I drilled a hole in there to add a LED light. And there's a Jason I've been working on, and I just got to finish the eyes and blending him. And I don't know if I showed you this particular Deadpool, but this is a 3D Wicked file. I went in and used some metallic markers, tried to do a variety of tones, and I really like how that came out. I only did it 50% of the original size, so there's a Frankenstein I played around with. But yeah, been busy, and I really do. I hope you appreciate my work. If you do, please leave a comment, please like, please subscribe, and help me out in growing my channel. I really do hope to post more and give more reviews and more techniques and things like that. But yeah, please follow along. I appreciate you folks, and I definitely appreciate you folks that have been with me for a while and always have a kind word of encouragement. So you guys take care, and I really appreciate you following along, and stay tuned for some more dioramas, more 3D prints and paints. And have a great evening. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, okay? Take care.